the top of the LCK, as for now, we're getting the same bans.
Shinjao taken away. Diana once again banned by T1. Just not willing to first pick it, but this time, Faker's Rise is removed, so already a big change here from DWG KIA, and that means that we're going to see something very, very different in terms of how these team fights are going to go, how these late game rotations are going to happen. And is it going to be the fake out where he goes, I'm going to pick Lee Sin, but not really Viego, actually? That's what we've been seeing all series long.
I think so.
Yeah, there you go. Keeping it classic.
Yeah. Keep in mind that Thresh is available now because Rise was banned instead of Thresh.
Yes.
So...
And that's probably what DWG KIA is looking at right now with this red side pick. You know, they chose red side. Take the Lucian. They could take the Lucian and the Thresh. Take Rumble.
Whoa.
That is not what I expected to see. And now you've got a lot of things to think about as T1. Like, this is a huge pivot. Maybe you want to take away the Leona pick from them so they don't have that consistent long-range engage. It's, you know, there's a lot to consider. The Viego can be played in the solo lane or the jungle still. So you still have that flexibility.
And Thresh is here, so Aphelios Thresh, I think, is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Gumiusi loves Aphelios.
And Keria loves Thresh. There you go. So, really solid response here.
Yeah, and if DWG KIA didn't expect this, they're not paying attention,
yeah.
right? Like, this should have been pretty obvious to them, I'd imagine.
One of our old school Jace players versus one of our newer ones here. And the old school Jace is going to be the one who pilots the champion this time. For Khan here. This is picked blind once again, so now they will be the ones very likely to ban the Wukong. If that trend continues. Well, only bad matchup for Jace that we've seen so far here this season. Sometimes, you know, we have a matchup that's okay for the Jace, but like usually he's winning a lot of the meta champion matchups. This is the only big exception, and there it is.
Yep.
Shocker. This draft is kind of pretty self-explanatory so far.
Yeah, does make sense. There's already a whole lot of poke on the side of DWG KIA. So some kind of beefy front line that's not just Thresh on the side of T1 might be nice. If DWG KIA get ahead and they just drop, you know, nukes basically onto the back line of Aphelios and even Viego, you're not going to have a great time. So I'm curious to see how they're going to work around that here.
Kalista is a great ban here, I think, considering that DWG KIA have a lot of burst damage. They have long range with the Rumble, the Jace. If you add the ability to have like a Gragas engage from far away with the Kalista that's going to have such a great time in lane, that could be a nightmare. Now this is where it gets tricky. I like the Aurelia too, given the Jace. It's a really smart ban. Now you could ban the Leona if you don't want to deal with that, and she works well with all sorts of AD carries. They do that because if you try to ban another AD carry like the Ezreal, then you're really just kind of throwing darts, you know, with a blindfold on at the board, like trying to really kind of guess what Ghost might want to play here. But the Leona ban is going to be strong in every scenario for every AD carry that's left, except the Kog'Maw.
Yeah. That is the most telling pick of what is coming next. And, you know, T1, it's not like they can pick away the Kog'Maw, right? So they're just going to have to prepare for what could definitely be Kog'Maw Lulu here.
And they're just going to double down on playing another of Faker's most famous champions of all time this year, and double down on the late game damage output and scaling. Because they're like, okay, you're going to scale up to the Kog'Maw, then we're going to have to match that scaling. We're going to have a comp that can play well in the later parts of the game, rather than, because it's so difficult to actually snowball against the Kog'Maw, when you're running an Aphelios lane, like you can't really get a huge edge and all in on trying to get a tempo advantage super early on in the game. So Lee Sin will be the final pick here, which means it's probably going to be Viego on the top side of the map. And I mean, I guess there was like a small amount of mystery, like was he really going to play the Kog'Maw? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real reason to pivot out of that anyway. So you just go ahead, pick up the Kog'Maw, and basically just try to hold on to your flash so that you don't get Embers divided. And there's a whole lot of burst damage on their side. I mean, they have some pretty insane range as well. DWG KIA and T1 There's going to be a lot of poke going both ways here, but especially with the Jace and the Rumble and the culling, and it's almost overwhelming from the side of Damwon.
Yeah, Damwon have such great opportunities to control the laning phase with this Jace into the Viego. That's going to be a really hard matchup for the Viego, of course. And then you have the Lucian into Azir. It's Faker's Azir, first of all, and Azir, like Ryze, kind of can hold his own against the Lucian, can chip back in the lane, and sometimes even hit some timings when he hits 6 to end up having kill pressure against the Lucian in lane. But yeah, this is going to be a composition I think that is largely based on how the top half of the map goes for both of these teams. Like if Wonder can actually get a lot of pressure onto this Jace, if Khan gets punished for trying to use this Jace matchup to his advantage, that's how you can start to get really ahead as T1 and then kind of glide your way through the mid game. Otherwise, the prio issues can really start to stack up, and then the Kog'Maw issue becomes massive in the later parts of the game.
Yeah, they'll try to snowball that through the lanes and see what they can get going later on in the mid to late game. As it looks like we are ready to jump into game number 3. T1 up against Damwon KIA. This is a huge match. We're towards the middle stages of the second round here in Summer. And every match counts, every win, especially against other top teams, because these are the hard points to gather.
Ooh. No, I said, ooh, come on, Khan. Well, that's going to force it back. Very likely here.
Yeah. Get a nice little ward in.
Doesn't lose any summers or anything crazy like that. And, going to just reset everything. Not going to be too impactful at the end of the day. And having that ward is nice, as you mentioned. It's really awesome to me as someone who's just come into casting the LCK this year to have the ability to cast Faker, first of all, but also in 2 metas where he gets to play his iconic Azir and now his Ryze. Both of those champions in the same series. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
League of Legends' most decorated pro right before our eyes playing one of his most famous champions. Love to see it. As Khan is like, I'm going to get every advantage out of Jace that exists. I have a ward here, so.
So annoying. And the Viego is going to come down and say, okay, get away from my jungler. Viego can be quite annoying himself. As some trades go back.
Conqueror's proc.
Can't really walk through that tight corridor against the Viego, so Khan has to kite back a little bit. Might have been actually zoned out of like maybe 1 CS of XP, didn't quite see.
Yeah, pretty small amount, if so. And they both, of course, lost the same amount of minions there. You're free to do this as Jace because even if you end up taking a slightly worse trade, and yes, Viego has insane sustain, you're still going to end up chipping away at him. That's just how this works. So you don't feel too terrible about that at all. Yeah. Meanwhile, this lane, so far, pretty good for Showmaker in terms of the prio.
Yeah. And this feels like a pretty nice meta for Faker with all the Lucian coming back in. The Ryze and the Azir, both very nice about laning into this pick, as that was a pretty insane hook. This is part of the reason why you don't give Thresh to Keria, because he's actually just a monster on this champion. Yeah, it's not just that he gets like crazy death sentences. Just wait and see. I mean, we've all seen it before.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Not to mention that his lanterns are really good, so it's just really frustrating to play against a composition like T1's when you're trying to get those last hits on the champion, you're trying to get those kills secured, and Keria's got the lantern right over the wall, right when you thought you had a kill. He says no, and this is actually going very well for the T1 side of the bot lane right now. Even had, just for a moment, Owner, there's the hook.
Yeah, he's gonna get the hook. Here's the ignite. They have the root, and easy peasy does it. Down in the bottom side, Ghost is gonna trade back a nice amount of damage, but at the end of the day, it's first blood and it's 2v1. He can't do anything to gather that one back as Khan, what? He misses, and there it is. The flash is used for nothing. And Canyon's waiting like, what's going on here, buddy?
Wow, that is such a huge move. Coming through here on the top side of the map from Kana, ends up hitting the stun in just a greedy moment. And so for a second I thought our UI was bugged because it was staying with the Jace for so long there. But ends up being a really massive win here for the Viego into this matchup of the Jace. And what a turn of events. We're going to watch the bottom exchange first. This is KIA's Death Sentence here. And this one is not, I mean, it's a basically max range hook. This is what you expect, but it's not as impressive considering the angle that DWG KIA were kind of corralled into between the turret and the wall. Those are the easiest hooks to hit because you don't have much wiggle room. Khan goes forward here, uses his W for the attack speed, and then Kana just speeds up, hits the stun. Just on the edge, too. Khan almost stutter steps it. Then he actually misses his shock blast, but that's insignificant. Wastes his flash, too.
어떠냐고.
How was it? How do you like that?
How do you like that? I like it.
Okay, but this is not done yet. Khan wants to strike back.
Canyon's like, man, I wish I was playing Zac. Trying to get that damage down with the flash harpoons instead, and they will. So the Rumble is going to enjoy a nice gank anyway. He has to use his flash, but they get the job done, and a nice follow-up here from Canyon.
See if KIA can get another Death Sentence here. I mean, this game can very quickly balloon out of control, especially for T1 going into the mid game with this composition. You end up getting 2 fed on an Azir, for example, and a Felios, and a Viego. And like, how do you win these fights even in the mid game? I mean, Owner is non-stop in the action here as Kana looking to collapse in. Hello.
Yeah, Canyon's in a rough spot. He gets stunned down, and down he will go. So much aggression being shown on both sides. I mean, Canyon, he doesn't even have his top laner up in the top side, and he's like, I guess I can just invade the enemy jungle. Not the case.
Nope. And now this is just going to be so much free farm here for Kana. I mean, the situation in this game is starting to spiral so quickly. Like I was saying, this is one of the worst scenarios for DWG KIA that you could ever imagine. Ghost is on Kog'Maw, right? He's going to eventually catch up. He's going to be given a lot of minions. He will be fine later on, but you're really crippled right now. So they're going in.
The root comes in, and the play is so easy as well. KIA just looking to kite it out, and that is just the awesome Death Sentence follow-up. They're going to get a double kill. And Canyon's like, guys, what's going on here? At least his presence is going to be able to secure the kill for Ghost, but it's still great for T1 on the trade.
Yeah, and KIA gets out. That's 3 kills for KIA, actually. But all the assist gold is really going to start to stack up. And
Time to go AD Thresh.
Yep, all the... He's got his mobility boots online real quick. You can see that. It's starting to stack up, and also the time lost for Ghost in lane is really frustrating because he's losing so many minions. He's losing so much of that gold that he so desperately needs. So we're going to watch the top exchange one more time, as this is when Kana gets punished. Meanwhile,
what's going on here?
Khan's dead. T1.
Canyon again is like, please, guys, just stop dying. Like, I'm trying to help. I can't do everything in every lane.
T1 have such a massive lead now. I mean, we're talking about a 2,000 gold lead at 7.5 minutes, 30 seconds before the Rift Herald spawns. So we're going to have total control of the map before that. You see a check comes through with a Scryer's Bloom here for KIA. Can confirm that no one is on the Drake. Knows that, okay, Canyon's probably towards the top side of the map, but not going to be able to take the Drake. And now they just have the opportunity to try to take 2 aggressive objectives. This is going to be the first-person view, of course. From,
yeah, and in live, okay, here we go again, and the damage is there yet again.
It's okay, we saw it already in the replay, it looks the same.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is unbelievable. This is why you ban the Thresh.
And also they're level 6, and your Lulu's level 4. Like, stop trying to fight them.
Yeah, this cannot keep happening. I mean, I don't want to call this game over, but we're getting very close to an unrecoverable game for DWG KIA, especially the bottom lane. That's now finding itself 30 CS behind because of all that Death Timer time he spent. He's spent the Death Round not in lane. Now they're going to get the Rift Herald. There's just absolutely no one nearby. Rumble is hanging out on the top side of the map. Canyon's over there, where unfortunately to him, Kana is nowhere nearby. So he's not going to get any value from staying up there. So unfortunately, this is a big whiff. And now he's like, well, I might as well just go all in. I learned from Malrang.
This is a long con. Yeah, he's been talking with his buddy.
And so now you can probably double objective as T1. Okay, this plan may just yet work out.
The zoom in. The zoom in.
Owner is nearby.
And the recall. Oh.
Oh, he's not selling it very well.
Yeah, and yeah, like
Kana's like, I see you.
Yeah, yeah.
His third eye sees him, his mind's eye. And well, Valdez, this is shaping up to be potentially a disastrous end to this series.
Yeah, nice calling. Showmaker trying to make something in the mid lane, but even there, Faker's winning in CS. Like, there's not really much of a redeeming factor here. I suppose the Jace is winning in CS, but if you're not, then the game might surely just truly be over.
Barrel is playing with fire here. I don't think, I mean, they definitely couldn't see that if they're not in the brush there, and I don't think they were, so they don't know he's here necessarily, but there's nothing he can do about this. It's just an easy solo Drake take.
Uh-oh.
Look at Faker!
No way. He's like, I'm gonna assassinate that guy. I'm gonna dive the mid turret. Just watch me, guys.
Faker was almost in position to actually get a kill there, or at least force flash with his Emperor's Divide.
Okay, some more trades come out here. The damage not quite there for Khan.
Canyon's nearby. They have a ward.
Equalizer. Equalizer value potentially. I think he saw him. The equalizer is not going to land as Kana will flash away from that one. And the dive is imminent. Down in the bottom side, the root comes in, and already the damage from Guma is just way too much. Teleport here, and the max range, but they're not going to go on to that with a teleport coming in. Probably the right decision, even though it was very flashy.
Yeah, I liked your perfect play-by-play casting on the minimap, knowing the equalizer and everything without even being able to see it on screen. So you just know that's...
I've casted some Rumble games in my time.
Yeah, especially recently, am I right?
Yep.
But hey, they're going to get the top turret, which actually will be first turret blood, going over to DWG KIA. Well, will they though, actually?
Owners, yeah, he's trying to defend. There's the one minion there, and look at this, Canyon's like, no, I don't care. And he's actually going to live.
He lives here.
Kana not able to catch up to him, but he's looking to continue the trade. Nope, just going to be knocked away.
Well, they are sending Faker and Keria up right now. I don't think they can catch this. They're just going to miss the boat by a small margin. I say that.
Let's see if they read this. Uh-oh, Khan, you should have followed your buddy, the jungler, as in goes Faker, and, well, he does kind of a front flip into his death. Does the Jace, and Faker will pick up a kill.
Faker picks up a kill. I mean, the gold's getting spread around everywhere now. Well, you know, when the support's the one who's got 3-0 and 3 on the scoreboard, you're already concerned oftentimes, but like, DWG KIA are just in shambles in this game right now because every move they try to make is punished. And this bot lane is 100% over. I don't know which kill it was. This like the 4th time this happened or the 5th time?
This was like 3 minutes ago.
This is actually before they even hit 6. Like, this is so long ago. And he missed the flash. He said a bad word. Or almost said a bad word, I should say.
That was farther than the last one we saw.
Yeah.
The last scene. Oh, by the way, yeah, now Showmaker's dead.
We're gonna
have get a kill, and you get a kill.
I mean, we are almost a kill per minute here, so we're gonna have to talk with the replay team. Like, we'll save this one for the highlights. We'll talk about it when we get to the highlights later.
You're like, I just really want to show Keria's 15th kill in the bottom lane. Like, can you just let me do that?
Okay,
once again, for 1 moment.
Lantern, what's up?
Answers no. There's no flash here for Khan. He's just dead. And yes, Keria, of course, will pick up the 4th kill. 404 Jace not found.
It has... The weather app has been saying it's been going to rain a lot recently, but that doesn't rain. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
All right, so which replay is this going to be?
Is this like the 3rd time? Look at how far up they are.
Yeah, this is actually insane.
Guma and Keria, they're like about to hit level 6.
I mean, they get the 6 off the kill, I think, here. Ghost is dead. There's the 6.
You just can't. You just have to respect it more.
I mean, now that they're so ahead, especially Keria, and you got his mobility boots early, like, he's going to be around the map. He's going to be roaming all the time. So, unfortunately, even as Lucian, you can't be up in the lane like that. You just have to relinquish prio. You have to just be like, all right, well, we have to sit back and farm. But I think it's just too late anyways.
Oh, boy. Oh, okay, well, he's going to miss his Q as this game is just going straight into the Fiesta zone. Guma's going to pick up yet another kill here. 3-1-3 for him.
It's just hyper-aggressive T1. This is how they beat Gen.G. This is how they beat KT earlier this week. This is a team that, when they are playing at their most aggressive, have looked the best so far this season.
Yeah.
And you better believe that they're going to keep doing it because this is where they're finding so much success, and this is why Owner is in, or Owner is in. because he's the player that really empowers this playstyle so much. And even though he's less than half of kill participation in this game, you can see that whenever he's in the roster, whenever he's on stage, T1 just have no qualms about the aggression. And yeah, the kick misses here, but the deficit in this game for Khan is, you know, he's just so far behind, he can't do anything, he can't trade it back.
Yeah, I mean, the Q misses, but it's like about, you know, where he is and understanding that he can secure a kill for Gumusi. Like, yeah, it's not the cleanest. I mean, you can kick W about it, but at the end of the day, like, it's still the right play.
Ghost just bought his Wit's End, which will be his first item versus Collector and Immortal Shield already done, so he has a whole item behind. Yeah. And I think he's at his Wit's End. Maybe he's making a statement with this pick.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too.
There's only really Faker's damage at this point to be worried about in terms of the match resistance at this stage.
Not again. Not again. It's only 15 minutes into the game. This is going to be a 6th death.
You know, the hook that KIA barely missed at the beginning, where you were like, ooh, you know, his hooks are really good. This is why you ban it. He almost got it, like, really early on in the game. I think that might be the only hook he's missed on screen that we have seen so far.
We need more of this T1 and not the T1 that trades Baron for an Infernal Soul.
They don't have
like,
to make,
please, can we just have this one more?
They don't even have to make macro choices in this game.
Okay, there you go.
There's the lantern I'm talking about.
You got the emote coming out. It's perfect. And yeah, I mean, KIA's like a one-man army right now. You give him a lead with this champion as well, then you just know the lights are out.
Oh, it is very and truly a massive lead for T1. Sincerely.
Indubitably. A massive lead, you're right.
I can't remember the name of the group of munchkins in the Wizard of Oz that like go to confirm the Wicked Witch is dead. Like they read the whole certificate.
야, 제이스 노플.
But that's like that's
노플.
where I'm at in this game. That's the
야, 너무
analysis I can
선남는다,
give
이거.
is just yelling no flash, no flash, no flash. That's how you know the DWG KIA fans are responding to this game so far.
And he's just immediately looking for his next kill, and he's already running down the river. Like
KIA's like, I got you.
Be here. Kind of flashes to the lantern.
Yeah.
Get another win for the Thrash. I wonder who's going to win player of the game in this one. Kog'Maw.
I wanted to make a joke, but I'm like, no, it's just there's not even a joke to make. Like at this point, it's really just quite tragic.
He's got the most kills in the game.
He does, actually. He's still #1.
The most kill participation, the most assists.
75% of...
Does he have the most gold now?
No way.
We're not there yet.
That gold difference over time has... the gap is widening. The mountain is getting steeper.
Yeah.
The chai is growing, okay?
Yeah.
I have to say about this... if you're Dom1 right now, you are so desperate, but every time you make a desperate play, you fall deeper and deeper behind. You're digging your own grave. What can you do in this game anymore? We can't even talk about Kog'Maw scaling. We can't talk about the Prio anymore.
Yeah.
We've long gone
Owner
beyond.
throws out the question mark. I mean, they are so savage with the way they're winning this as well. The amount of emotes that are coming out and the confidence with which they're just, yeah. I mean, but you're right. We've gotten to a place in this game now where the lead is so gigantic that all of the stuff that we could have potentially talked about in this game, like the draft and, you know, if it were a close game, kind of goes out the window.
Khan's poke, yeah, no, not going to discuss it. Does Kana even feel worried here? Probably should.
Yeah.
He probably should.
You know.
But at the same time, they are getting mid-turret. They already got the inner turret on the bottom lane. Now we're going to get the mid-inner. And we're talking about a sub-20. 2 inners down. Looking for a third.
Oh, carry. What? What? They're so fast.
Oh my God! The hook! It doesn't even matter. He's just showing off, Valdez.
Yeah, he's just having a ball. Like, this is just his solo queue playground right now.
I mean, with the Shurima shuffle and the lantern, Faker's like, I can fly in this game. Like, he's Rose from Titanic with like his arms out on the top of the ship.
Gary is holding him.
Oh man. I mean, KIA would be Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's be real. Oh my God, this is just absurd. All right, so Kana does get picked here moments before this. It's just not even worth showing the replays here. Oh my God! Force of nature.
Oh, this, yeah.
Oh,
It's like nothing we can even say.
I know.
He's the most tanky member on their team now.
The observers were checking if that was a bug or not. They were like, "Wait, is that? Did we have the icon wrong?" Like,
he's gonna be even faster. Like,
yeah, I know.
Now you really can't get away from
Dead Man's Plate next, please. Oh. Well,
it's really getting out of hand.
Damwon KIA, you know, the thing about Damwon KIA is if you haven't been watching all season long, if you're kind of a guy watching international events, or maybe you're just a T1 fan, so you tuned in tonight, but like, there was a struggle at the beginning of the season. You know, they did some role swaps. They played a very unique version of League of Legends. It stopped working, so they've swapped back, and everyone was saying, okay, they look like they're back in form. They're looking really good. Yeah, Nongshim beat them recently, but it was still a good game from Damwon. But this, you know, in this third game, T1 winning this is really huge.
Wait,
Ghost?
What? He's like, let me kill you with my lantern.
You want to come over here? Like, please take my lantern. Faker is dead.
Yeah, this game is just going, it is just out of control now. Like, T1 players are dying and they don't even seem to care. It's like, oh, it's fine. We can just do the 20-minute Baron anyway.
Faker's just trying to get his own highlight reel. Sorry, you're Kate Winslet this time, Faker.
Oh, man.
You're not Leonardo DiCaprio this time. That's KIA. He's getting all the praise. Like, Gumiuchi's like, man, I just wanted to have a great game, but I guess I just don't even get to have all the kills on the bottom side. KIA's like, anyone else want to come fight over here? Look how fast he is. Guess who's dead? Guess who's dead? It's Ghost.
Look at all the pings, too. It's like, oh, we can just go this way. Yeah, well, he's gonna miss the hook. I think that's like the second time in this game, and you know, teleport just for good measure. Coming up to the top side with the Baron, they want to push and maybe even go for the end. I mean, Damwon are not in position. They're gonna back now, but it's 5v4.
Support diff, Valdez. This is gonna be an inhibitor at 21 minutes. And, you know, I hate to say it, but the bottom duo, where I was going back to that, you know, kind of long-winded narrative point earlier, is that Damwon KIA's bot lane was the reason why they struggled so much, and it's still a huge win for T1 if they, you know, take this. They'll actually tie Damwon KIA at 7-5 on the wins, you know, after this. But the bottom lane in this game is where things went wrong. Don't do Faker like that. He's just trying to show off too. He's trying to have his own moment.
Oh no.
KIA was almost there with the lantern.
Okay, we got a one-on-one here. Khan says, I mean, it's fine at this point. Like, I might as well try. Might as well try. Although he did reset his gold counter by picking up that kill.
Yeah.
So that's full gold over to Kana.
And, you know, it was a big tempo advantage that KIA had. And he's just so good at roaming when he has an advantage. He got Moby Boots early, just roamed all over the map, found value in every single lane. And it's not like, I mean, yeah, it was some big mistakes from Ghost and Beryl, but I mean, Ghost is still only 3 deaths. It's not like he just completely ran it down, but the fact that he struggled so much with Beryl in that lane is what led to KIA's advantage, which is now no longer a lane problem. It's the whole thing. The whole game is about KIA.
Yeah. And Damwon knew what they were getting into, right? The Aphelios Thresh was first rotation before the second phase of bans, and they're like, okay, we got this. Hanwha Lulu, let's do it. And then they proceeded to get absolutely just bot gapped, essentially. And T1 are really running away with it now. And it really speaks to the power of these players, especially KIA, to be able to snowball it this fast and with this much of a lead. As T1, 23 minutes in, they have the Baron buff for 45 seconds. Looks like some players want to end and some players don't. But they're just waiting for the wave.
A return to form here from T1. Really, I mean, absolutely great early game that leads to such a snowball. In the face of such adversity, Kana in the front. Here we go. Oh.
Yeah, he just flashes away. All right, well, Equalizer comes out, and you can see Showmaker's desperately trying to kite it out here as the stun goes down onto Khan. As Owner's doing a good job of zoning the rest of the team. And he's got such a massive shield, it doesn't matter. Gumiuchi flashing into the enemy team. There's the death sentence, and it will be that for Beryl. A double kill for KIA. Penta? Can we get the Penta going for the Thresh? I feel like he definitely deserves it at this point, but we're going to look for the kick. It's not going to be good, but it does not matter. The Nexus will go down in 23 minutes. and T1 will absolutely clobber them here in game number 3.
Easiest POG vote of my life. That was the best solo performance I've seen on a support since I started casting League of Legends, and I mean, this is vintage T1. This is aggressive T1 that wants to absolutely crush and stomp